Bonjour and welcome to all of you comic book geeks, readers and collectors to another comic chat for this week. Brand new comics out this week. I have voted with myself for the book of the week, which will be towards the end. I'm going to not review, but chat about, non-spoilery, the top comics that I found this week, which there are 10 of, book of the week, and then at the end, cover of the week. A little bit of my self-indulgence, where I imagine if I only had pocket money for one comic. Do you remember them days? And it was the spinner rack or the drugstore shelf or the newsagent shelf, whatever side of the Atlantic you was on, and you only had, it's one comic. What sucked you in? What comic win? Dinosaurs, spaceships, whatever. Robots. Yes, come on. Superheroes, Superman, Batman, whatever it was. That is cover of the week, right at the end. I think that's about it. I think I've covered all of the bases. It's called Comic Chat because it's not quite a review show, because that will lead to spoilers. But these are the comics that I have read, except one. The first up, let's get going. The first one I haven't read is this, because it's the last one in the series. My old mate Terry, when I put this up like that in the haul video a couple of days ago, it's my old mate Terry from Dead Man Comic Covers, link in the description below, that said, "Mate, do you know that's the last one?" Oh no, this has been going for a good few years now. I haven't been getting it from the beginning, but I have got it from the beginning. I've caught up, apart from the one before last series. So I didn't read the last series because I didn't get the one before that, and I can't read this until I've read them two. I can't read the end, can I? No way am I doing that. But there is a sadness. There is a melancholy upon me this week. Sexy subscribers. There is a melancholy that this has ended. But it's probably time before it runs out of steam, like a lot of things do. I'd rather, I think with all things considered, I'd rather see it finish, end, job done. No. Yeah, like it. Little tiny whinge before I get into the top 10 of the week. I really have tried to find a way in. I loved issue 1 so much because it dropped the FF into the first film, and since then all we get are apes with the powers of the Fantastic Four. I don't get it. Sorry guys, I don't get it. It's left me cold, that one. One comic that can't leave you cold. Let's talk about 10 of the best comics this week. One comic that can't leave you cold. Oh, absolute Batman. Oh, look at the brute. Look at the size of his knee. His knee is nearly as big as that person's head. Which is, it's not Gordon, is it? It's the new Pennyworth. It's absolute Alfred. I'm sure he's going to get a spin-off soon. He's going to get a one-shot in the absolute Alfred. Come on, DC, I've gifted that to you. You haven't thought of that yet, had you? Absolute Alfred. That's all right. Just give me a full-page ad on the back cover as a compensation for the Geeky Old Hog channel. Anyway, no, it's still a great read. Regatta's, the first page of this comic has 16 panels. It's madness. It's insane. But we love it, don't we, for that? The absolute titles, of which I only read 2, this and Wonder Woman. The others, not so much. Anyway, I'm loving that. Keeping it on the madness scale. Yes, Lobo on reality TV with his own show. Like Dog the Bounty Hunter is Lobo the Bounty Hunter, but obviously Scotty Young taking it to the max. I enjoyed the first issue. This second issue, unless it's going to lead on to a 6-issue story arc, this kind of finishes it off, what he started in the first issue. And I like that. I like that because these one-trick pony characters, like Deadpool over at Marvel, Lobo is a one-trick pony character. You've really got to nail the characters around him and the setting they're in and everything else. And it's Jorge Corona. As long as he's on it and Scotty Young's on it, yeah, I'm kind of on board with this. That was decent. The belle of the ball out of all of the three DC all in next level titles is DC all in next level Deathstroke the Terminator, which is this. It's not a mouthful at all, and I'm not labouring the point at all. But I am enjoying this because I don't know anything about this character, but what they're doing is a bit like what Lobo did. There was a bit of verbiage in the first issue of Lobo which literally let you know what's been going on and the shtick, the whole thing of the character. It was a bit wordy, but Scotty Young did it. I think he got it over and done with in a page. Just went, la la la, this is what's gone on before. He's been a woman before. If you've read Lobo from the beginning, you know all this. But if you haven't, it's like, oh wow, oh, really? This is what is capable. This is what this guy's capable of. Deathstroke has done the same thing, not on the same next level as Lobo. See what I did there? But I'm on board. I get it. I know what the character's done. I'm getting a bit of his history, getting a bit of the family. And I know that's an overused word in the DC Warner Brothers, you know. But no, it's been good. Been very, very good. And enjoyed this second issue as well. Proper kicking off, like all guns blazing. Like, yes, literally all guns blazing. Lovely art job. Yeah, I'm thoroughly, out of the three DC all in next level titles, that's my favourite. Love it. Love it. And that's only because it only beats Lobo by a gnats, because Lobo is the one-trick pony I've read before, and yeah. So yeah, only by a little bit. Yeah, Deathstroke, really enjoying. This is the least enjoyable of the bunch, but nevertheless an intriguing. I haven't got a clue what's going on. It is properly cuckoo. And that's unusual for Greg Rucka. Normally, he's the boy who's on the ground level and gives it to us as we see it. But issue one of this is I don't mind things starting off in the middle, as long as you unravel it for us, as in, you know, you lead us through, you give us a little, you've got to leave us some little breadcrumbs, haven't you, along the way? There's very, very sparse breadcrumbs leading us through this storyline so far, but I'm loving Danny's artwork. Can't help feeling this might be a mismatch though, because every now and again there's a page of art where you think their artwork is difficult to colour. It would look beautiful in black and white because they use shade to depict the light in the imagery. So instead of drawing lines, I think I said this before, but instead of drawing a line around a head, you're drawing, or they're using blocks of ink and colour, blocks of black ink and shade behind. Instead of drawing a line, it would be anyway. But this is the least. But nevertheless, I am all in for issue 3 of the next issues of issue 3 of the all-in next level DC line. Another DC book. Where's Marvel this week? Did I do? Oh yeah, it was Planet of the Apes, wasn't it? Oopsie. Here she is. Part 2 of the Wonder War. And all the roads that lead us there are winding. It's the Wonder War. Eesh. Yes. I can't resist that when I hear Wonder War. Part 2. I'm liking the matriarch as a new ultimate villain. As a new creation. I'm finding that refreshing, rather than, I don't know who Wonder Woman would go up against. Would it be Cheetar or Cheetara? Whoever it is she goes up against normally. A bit like Daredevil and Kingpin and on and on and on. What would it be, DC? Superman and Darkseid, is it? Would it be that? You know. And Avengers and Thanos, you know when you think you've seen it all before. So the matriarch coming along, I am enjoying. Not so much the origin with the mice are mice and hearing everyone and mice men talk. Not enjoying that bit so much, but 2 issues in to the Wonder War, I am enjoying it. Overall, just about. Helped by Daniel Sampere's art. It's not the most exciting. That's what I will say. With a Tom King time jumpy thing that he's playing with. So he's showing us that the matriarch won in 20 years' time. And then flipping back to what happened. So, yeah. That is just there is a soupçon of irritation behind my enjoyment of that. I think Sampere's artwork, just for me personally, is doing a lot of heavy lifting on that comic because I love his art so much. So, yeah, if it was maybe a lesser standard of artist, might have dropped that a long while ago. Particularly with the Masman Avius. Now, this is how you do it. I told you, Pepos and Lau on this issue, so this is what happened in this issue. The time travelling Tempest, the Time Master. The comic opens up with him killing Space Ghost in another timeline. These are all classic tropes, by the way. There's nothing new in here. How it's all wrapped up. How Pepos wrapped packages these stories are full on, no holds barred, but embraces the pulpy cheesiness of Space Ghost, the vigilante in space, with his 2 junior sidekicks, Jace and Jan and I think Jan and Jace, his 2 junior sidekicks. And Blip, the monkey. See what I mean? I never watched the cartoon, by the way, ever. I think it's more of an American thing than a UK thing. But this comic, so Tempest the Time Master turns up, and in the middle of Space Ghost defending or helping out the authorities stop a prison escape from a galactic villain prison. I'm just giving you those little tidbits to just illustrate how, verbally illustrate how good a comic this is. It's full on fun. It really is. Tempest the Time Master. And towards the end of this, how Space Ghost defeats Tempest in this timeline means that him and his sidekicks are displaced in time. Like I say, it's all classic tropes. How it's packaged and Lau's artwork is spot on. The two of them are working in such glorious harmony on this comic. I love it. I absolutely love it. And look at that glorious cover as well. Who does the covers? I always show off these covers. Have I ever mentioned Francesco Martina? Don't know if I said it in that accent because I don't know where he hails from. He could be Welsh, couldn't he? He could be an immigrant in Wales. Oh, next up, Muppets Noir. Yes. I know I said it before. In this issue, Kermit lets us know that he's allergic to pies. He faints and he has these dreams. You couldn't get more random, but this is the comic, and he has to wander. He was helped by Fozzie Bear, who is a cop, a beat cop. He does one side of the street, asking questions from the shopkeepers. Kermit, as what's his name? He's a private investigator called Minnow. Flip Minnow. So Flip Minnow does one side, Fozzie Bear does the other side of these shops, asking questions and how they can find these missing person. And it's all the characters from the Muppet Show in different shops. I love it. I love it, including the two. What were they called? Statler and Waldorf. How did I remember that? I do not know. But yeah, Statler and Waldorf. Oh, silly. But I love it. I love the Muppets as well. Right, the Hab. 2 comics up from Bad Idea. This, imagining if we... Oh, by the way, I love... Yes, please, give me the story. Yes, like it. This is the creator. This is just one paragraph. That's all. That's all you need to do. Other comic publishers, that is all you need to do. The Hab. Not the greatest cover. This isn't going to be in the running for cover of the week, but the story is off to a good start. Imagining that a billionaire, has built his own safety silo with everything you would possibly need when society breaks down. This isn't post-apocalyptic in the nuclear bomb sense or the zombie world sense. But all we know at the moment is that society is broken down and gone, dead in the water, as it were, metaphorically speaking. And he's created the Hab. But just a quick spoiler alert, if you haven't got this yet and you are interested, just quickly hold your ears. But the water supply is contaminated. That's enough. Nice, good, intriguing first issue. Loved it. I didn't know this was coming out. I have been enjoying the first 2 issues of the. Is it the Ordained? Yeah, the Ordained. Enjoyed the first 2 issues so far. It's the priest with a past, that we don't know about. A bit like the chef with a military history that we don't know about. The cook, the mild-mannered cook on the boat in the sea. Do you remember that old Steven Seagal? And do you remember when what's her name? who was on Baywatch, wasn't she? What was her name? Oh, I can still see her popping out of that cake. I digress. Back to the comics. Talk about the comic. This was a special that leads in, that will lead in. This gives us the origin story to one of the guys that's going to be after our main hero, the ordained, the vicar, the priest, what do they call him in America? The pastor. Pastor is, it's just the way I say it, I think. The pastor, as they say in America. Yeah, this was good. Like an action movie in comic book form. A really easy, quick read, because there's a lot of fighting and there's just a lot of, and where he's a bit, he's hench the geezer in this, like, he's obviously an assassin for hire, and you see him breaking necks, and you know what I mean. But was good. I'm just enjoying it. Good. It's just good, solid fun. They're not trying to reinvent the action wheel, the action film comic wheel. It's good stuff. Book of the week, guys, and it is a book, and I did buy it a couple of weeks ago, but it is Mike Mignola and this, and I think I did say in the haul video when I picked this up that I'd read halfway through it, something like that, or if it was last week on the comment, I can't remember, it all blurs into one. But anyway, I read it all through, and the back page by Mike Mignola, it does say that this isn't based on any. I thought it might have been, but it isn't. Mignola is creating his own fables. But our hero, Uri Tukka and the Gods, what this does do is not only showcase Mignola's beautiful artwork and his love of all things gothic and monstrous, it made me think about how we view religion and how we might view other people's views on the same subject. It gets a bit, for me anyway, did get a bit, not too deep, that overshadows the entertainment of the story, his journey. He's a pilgrim on a journey, basically, encountering all of the different monsters and demons in this fantasy land along the way, narrated by different animals. There's a duck. I don't know why I did that with my head when I said a duck. Perhaps I was ducking. This is my book of the week all day long. Mignola, original graphic novel from Mignola. Of course, it's going to be my book of the week. The day it isn't, when Mignola does anything that isn't my book of the week, then it's time for him to retire. And I can't imagine that day. He's never going to retire. And there's going to be a volume 2 of that as well. He teases us in the back page. Cover of the week, guys. I know this wasn't in the top 10 because it isn't, but that is a great cover. A werewolf with samurai swords hanging out of his furry back in a comic called Monster and the Wolf. Come on. You can't, whether you love or hate Mark Spear's artwork, you cannot deny that blood-soaked, snow-laden cover with a werewolf wouldn't sell a horror comic. Come on, back in the day. Again, I didn't want to whinge too much in this week's, but I could do a whole whinge video just on this one comic. But look at that David Mack cover. Beautiful. Just a beautiful piece of art. Simple as that. And they hid it in a red band bag. We've been through why. What went on in the first issue. Space Ghost is always going to be in the running. These beautiful covers. I just think that is, again, it nails what you want it to. A space vigilante. That's what it's going to do. Sampere's design work on this is beautiful. It is static, but the rain, the grim, the swords. What do they call that? That bit of the sword. There's a word for it anyway. That bit of the sword. But anyway, replicating gravestones in the second part of the Wonder War. And yeah, I think, and you can see that all the lights that lead them there are blinding. No, all right. I've got that song in my head. That's another cover. This was funny because there was the Bisley covers, wasn't there? And where you used to see his crack when he was the woman, and it's Jorge Corona. So is it in the running? The Absolute Batman cover actually was disappointing. Was disappointing. Now I think, as much as I don't like the comic anymore, my love affair with this title has faded, has waned. I just think that's a great cover with the apes doing their nut, and the force field, and Reed using his powers, even though in the comic he's lost his powers and it's one of the apes has got it. But we're going on covers now, aren't we? So it's not the bestest of covers, is it? It's not the bestest cover week. Is there anything else in desperation? I'm looking around. I'd love to make it David Mack. I either think it's Monster and Wolf, because it is a werewolf with samurai swords hanging out of his furry back in the snow, or it's nailing it, Space Ghost with big balls of plasma light with his mask on, and look at them. Like, to sell a comic, that's what we're thinking of. Yeah. I'm going to go Space Ghost. Because it was such a fun read as well, and that cover would have dragged me in, and I would have thoroughly enjoyed the comic inside. Yes. That's cover of the week in, like I say, not the bestest of weeks. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you followed me this far, thank you so much. You must be a sexy, sexy subscriber. And if you're not, and you're still here, you know what to do. Make yourself sexy and subscribe. And let me know what you think in the comments, what you got. And if you disagree, if you're new here, I've said it before, but if you're new, you don't know this, disagree with me. It doesn't mean we have to fight, have a rumble, but it's only comics. No one's life is at stake. But let me know if I haven't read a comic that you think is brilliant. Please, let me know in the comments. Just get involved. I love it. And I get back to everyone. Until I get 1 million subscribers, I will answer everyone. It will take me a little while sometimes because life gets in the way, doesn't it? But I do reply to everyone. Yes. So until next time. So thank you, one and all, whether you're a sexy, sexy subscriber or not, or you're going to be. And until the next video, which I hope you will join me on, I'm going to bid you all adios. Backbeat, the word on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you. and all the roads that lead us there are winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Baby, are you gonna be the one that saves me? And after all, you're my wonderwall. Here we go. Come on. Here we go, guys. This is the best note prize. Come on. You're gonna deserve it. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you. And all the roads that lead you there are winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. Baby, are you gonna be the one that saves me? And after all, you're my wonderwall. Oh, thank y'all.